Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about something that I think a lot of us have experienced. Something that's become a quiet, almost invisible part of modern friendship. It's that little word you see under a message you sent. Seen. It appears and then nothing. Days turn into weeks, and that silence starts to feel heavier than any argument ever could. This isn't about a dramatic falling out or a big fight. It's about the slow, creeping fade of a friendship, one unreplied message at a time. It's the ghosting of a friendship, where the other person is still there. You can see they're online, but they're just not there for you anymore. And it can be incredibly confusing and painful. You start to question everything, don't you? You reread your last message a dozen times. Was it weird? Did I say something wrong? Was that joke not funny? You begin to invent scenarios in your head. Maybe they're just really busy. Of course, that's it. They have a new job, a new relationship. They're swamped. You give them the benefit of the doubt, because that's what friends do. You tell yourself, I'll just wait. They'll reply when they have a moment. But a moment turns into a week, and then you see them post a story on Instagram, out with other people, laughing and having a great time. And that's when the sting really hits. It's not that they don't have time. It's that they don't have time for you. This slow fade can be so much harder to process than a clear-cut ending. With a fight, at least there's something to talk about, something to fix or a clear reason to walk away. But with this digital silence, you're left in limbo. You're left holding on to the memory of a friendship that, for all practical purposes, might already be over. You remember the late-night calls, the inside jokes, the way you could tell them anything. You were each other's person. How does it go from that to this? To being someone whose message isn't even worth a 2-second reply? The silence doesn't just replace the conversation. It starts to replace the entire friendship, rewriting the history you shared. I think one of the hardest parts is the loss of closure. You're grieving a friendship, but you feel like you can't even properly mourn because there was no official end. Do you send another message? That feels desperate, right? Like you're begging for their attention. Do you just let it go? That feels like giving up on someone you once cared about so deeply. You're stuck. And in this digital age, it's so easy for people to just disappear. We can curate our lives, our friend lists, and our inboxes. And sometimes that means quietly moving people from the reply immediately category to the reply later category, and then eventually to the never reply pile. It forces you to have a really honest conversation with yourself. You start to wonder if the friendship was as balanced as you thought. Were you always the one reaching out? Were you putting in more effort all along, but you just didn't notice it until the replies stopped coming completely? It's a painful but necessary reflection. Sometimes friendships are seasonal. People come into our lives for a reason, for a certain period, and then as we grow and change, our paths diverge. It doesn't necessarily mean anyone is the bad guy. It just means the story has reached its final chapter. And the truth is, you can't force someone to be in your life. You can't make them value you, and you can't make them reply. Your energy is precious. Spending it staring at a seen notification, feeling anxious and rejected is draining. It takes away from the energy you could be giving to people who are excited to hear from you, to the friends who reply right away, who make plans, who show up. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is accept the silence, not as a rejection of your worth, but as a sign that it's time to move on. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to miss the way things were. Let yourself grieve that loss. The friendship was real, and your feelings about its end are valid. But don't let their silence define your value. Your worth is not determined by someone else's response time. You are not a notification to be dismissed. You are a whole person, deserving of friendships that are reciprocal, active, and fulfilling. The best thing we can do is to focus on the connections that are thriving. Nurture the friendships where the conversation flows easily. Be the kind of friend you want to have. One who replies, who checks in, who makes time. And maybe, most importantly, learn to give yourself the closure that the other person couldn't. You can decide for yourself that the friendship has run its course. You can archive the chat, not out of anger, but as an act of self-preservation. You're choosing to close that door gently so you can open new ones. Because for every friend who fades into silence, there are new people waiting to enter your life. People who will be thrilled to get a message from you. People who won't leave you on scene. It hurts to let go. But it hurts more to hold on to something that's already gone. The silence isn't an answer, but your decision to move forward can be. Protect your peace. Invest in those who invest in you. And remember that real, genuine connection will always be worth waiting for. If you've ever gone through this, please know you're not alone. It's a strange, quiet heartbreak that so many of us face. Share your thoughts in the comments if you feel comfortable. Let's talk about it. Thank you so much for watching and for being a part of this community. I'll see you in the next one.